Would you feel like eating tonight? Neomorph or xenomorph? I like neomorph, it's a little more tender. Xenomorph's too tough to digest. Whatever, kill them both.
What would a predator neomorph look like? As you all know, the xenomorph takes on the characteristics of its host. Basically, a human-spawned xeno will look different from an animal-spawned xeno, like the runner alien in Alien 3. The purpose of this DNA reflex could be to help the adult xenomorph adapt to the environment into which it will be born. By adopting characteristics of another organism that is hopefully native to that environment, the xenomorph will be better suited to its surroundings. The assimilation of host DNA apparently also helps the developing creature to hide from its host's immune system. Embryos are thought to copy around 10 to 15% of the host's genetic code during their early development. Notable physical traits inherited from host organisms include bipedalism, quadrupedalism, and, in the case of the predaliens, mandibles and dreadlocks. It's also been theorized that the adult xenomorph may adopt some mental traits from the host, such as general intelligence and certain instincts. One example is the predalien, that has been seen to ritualistically mutilate its prey in a manner similar to Yautja. So we've seen a xenomorph XX121 born from a Yautja, but what about a neomorph? As you know, the neomorph was introduced in Alien Covenant, native to Planet 4. Well, not really native. The neomorph species was likely the result of David the android unleashing the black goo on the planet's ecosystem. Unlike normal xenos, the neomorph species have no queen alien, egg, or facehuggers for that matter. It appears to have a much more efficient and deadly life cycle. The implantation process occurs via spores, kind of like plants. The spores can travel through the air, which makes them very contagious. Once a victim is infected, the neomorph emerges within hours, usually from the victim's back or mouth, or another orifice. One can't help but think the neomorph is a much more advanced version of the classic Xeno XX121, whose life cycle is a lot more complex and seemingly inefficient, where the queen lays eggs which produce facehuggers. The facehuggers then attach to the victim's face, and after a few hours, the chestburster emerges. The neomorph does away with all that and develops directly from the spores. It's possible there's a separate creature who lays the spore sacs, but unlikely. It's also worth mentioning the classic Xeno spends most of its time kidnapping hosts to be taken to the hive near the facehugger eggs for impregnation. It's unknown if the neomorph would capture hosts to be taken to the spore sacs. Anyway, just the thought. The Yautja are well versed in hunting classic Xenos and facehuggers, but one can't help but think hunting neomorphs would be a lot more dangerous, since the chance of being infected by these airborne spores is very high. But most Yautja wear a biomask, so it's highly likely that the biomask would not only detect these spores, but also stop them from entering any orifices. But let's imagine one of the Yautja clan members gets infected and a neomorph erupts from his back. What would this creature look like? Would it possess mandibles and dreadlocks like the predalien? Well, let me reveal to you my sketch. It's not great, but you get the idea. I was actually surprised to find out that there wasn't a single neomorph predalien concept on the internet, so I had to create one myself. Follow me on Twitter and share your designs. The predator-spawned neomorph would likely be a lot more aggressive than the human-spawned variety, possibly growing much larger. It may even possess freckles and spots like the Yautja. Maybe the mandibles would be hidden inside the mouth, and maybe they would feature externally. Who knows? And if you want to see the Yautja face off against engineers and xenos and humans, check out AVP Fire and Stone. It was revealed in conjunction with Prometheus Fire and Stone, Aliens Fire and Stone, and Predator Fire and Stone. The 4 series all share an interconnected story, and the aliens on the cover were originally supposed to be deacons. In my next video, we'll explore the anatomy of the Yautja, so stay tuned for that one. Now onto my Patreon squad. Check out these awesome and super cool supporters of Viral Killer. If you want to be in this Patreon squad panel, every video, cough up $1 a month. It ain't much. And if you want to help the channel but have no money, okay, follow these steps. First subscribe, then like the video, then share it. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. This is so useful that it might as well be a $5 donation. If you really want to help, leave a comment too. YouTube loves engagement. Thank you. Also, please follow me on Twitter and turn on notifications. Okay, I'm done.